With increasing global uncertainty, risk doesn't feel like an exception anymore. It's kind of becoming the norm. So, Arpit, let's build on that. How are you seeing the shift play out across this industry?
Sure. So now I would add to a layer on the observation that we had with the past few projects we have done for the industry. And what we observed with in discussion with a lot of supply chain managers across the medtech domains is that the China plus one policy, which is pretty working in the other domains, say in the semiconductor or in the FMCG and others, is not clearly working in the medtech industry. And still, the supply chain managers feel that their 60 to 70% dependency on the is on the supplies from China. And this is not only for the low cost consumables, but even for the high end equipment such as robots, or maybe the durables like the chairs, wheelchairs, like the beds, is there, and even in the digital medtech space as well. So on paper, yes, the companies might have been doing a dual sourcing, but in practicality, the companies are still depending on the suppliers from the China, and that raises a very important vulnerability with the rising geopolitics, with the rising challenges because of the tariffs, or maybe because of the closure of the sea routes, and perhaps what may come going forward. The over dependency on maybe one supplier and now thinking it as like a one country is also challenging for the industry. The second, what we observed from the discussions is that the forecasting models are breaking quite frequently. And specifically, this happened with post-COVID situations. So, uh, and this is both from the demand side and also from the supplier side perspective. So, the companies are observing in certain period a sudden collapse of the demand, or maybe the sudden recovery of the demand. That is leading to a bullwhip effect in certain domains, especially for the sectors like the low cost consumables. Then it also, changing because of from the supply side is like the it's a very quite difficult to predict on which of the supplier, maybe from a tier 2 or 3 or 4 domain, can have a breakdown due to due to multiple reasons. It may be the external reasons, or it may be the cash flow related reason to a particular supplier. So the forecasting model is breaking down more frequently. The third is the freight volatility is hitting the critical care. So this is a pretty recent effect, and where the for certain high level premium SKUs, or maybe for the premium customers, even the companies have to opt for a different logistical routes through the land or through the air to keep the supply up and running, at least for the certain times. And this is where the margins are being hit for a medtech company, not by the supplier. So more of the absorption of the freight cost is borne by the medtech OEMs, which is one of our challenging. And perhaps what we can see that this is a the freight volatility is a I would say effect for 1 or 2 quarter. Maybe we are hopeful that after this the volatility will reduce and the oil prices would stabilize.